Zorp slammed into the Earth's atmosphere. Oops, he burped. Forgot to check the galactic GPS again. His spaceship, held together by chewing gum and hope, sputtered and coughed. Smoke filled the cockpit. This is not good, Zorp muttered right before everything went black. He awoke to the sound of crackling and a weird smell. His spaceship had ploughed through a fence and landed smack dab in the middle of a field. Except it wasn't a normal field. Rows and rows of weird leafy plants surrounded him. What is this place? Zorp wondered, scratching his 3 butts. The crash had started a fire. Flames licked at the edges of the field, getting dangerously close to Zorp's spaceship. Great, he groaned. Just great. Now I'm stuck on this weird planet and my ride is on fire. This day couldn't get any worse. Little did he know, things were about to get a whole lot weirder. The fire spread quickly through the dry plants, sending plumes of thick, pungent smoke into the air. Zorp coughed. What is that smell? He sputtered. It was unlike anything he'd ever encountered on his home planet of Zargan. Being a curious and slightly idiotic alien, Zorp decided to investigate. He cautiously approached the burning plants, his 6 eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fascination. The heat from the flames made him sweat. Hot, 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 he yelped, hopping from one 3-toed foot to the other. The smoke, however, had started to make him feel funny. Whoa, Zorp giggled, swaying slightly. The world around him seemed to shimmer and vibrate. The burning plants no longer looked scary, but rather like giant, dancing green chickens. "This is awesome!" he exclaimed before bursting into a fit of uncontrollable laughter. The fire had died down, leaving behind a smouldering field and a very, very high alien. Zorp stumbled around, giggling at his own shadow. He picked up a charred stick and started drawing nonsensical pictures in the dirt. "Look," he slurred to a passing ladybug. "I'm an artist!" He spotted a soccer ball lying abandoned nearby. It was probably dropped by some kids who came to this field to do whatever humans do in fields of weird, smoky plants. Zorp had no idea what soccer was, but he was determined to figure it out. Zorp ran towards the ball with surprising speed, considering his current state. He swung his leg back, aiming for a powerful kick. Instead, he missed the ball entirely and ended up sprawled face first in the dirt. "Ow," he mumbled. "This game is harder than it looks." After his failed attempt at soccer stardom, Zorp's stomach chose that moment to remind him that he hadn't eaten since breakfast, which, considering the time dilation between Zargan and Earth, was roughly 2 weeks ago. "Ugh, I'm famished," he groaned, clutching his rumbling stomach. "Gotta find some space snacks around here somewhere." He wandered out of the field and onto a nearby road. Cars zoomed past, their horns blaring at the sight of a disoriented alien wandering aimlessly down the middle of the street. "Hey, watch it!" Zorp yelled at a passing minivan. "I'm walking here!" After a few close calls, Zorp finally stumbled upon a sign that gave him hope. It was a giant yellow M with the words McDonald's written underneath. Now, Zorp had never actually tried McDonald's before, but he had heard rumors of delicious, greasy food that could satisfy even the hungriest of interstellar travelers. "This is it!" he exclaimed. "My quest for sustenance has led me to this!" Section 5. What is this, Walmart? The McDonald's drive-through speaker crackled to life. "Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?" A bored teenager's voice droned. Zorp panicked. He had no idea what to say. He had never encountered a drive-through before, let alone one staffed by a human teenager with a severe case of the Mondays. Greetings, Earthling," Zorp stammered, his voice echoing through the speaker. "I desire sustenance. The most delicious, greasy sustenance you possess." There was a long silence on the other end, then the teenager sighed. "Dude, this is a McDonald's, not a sci-fi convention. Just order something or move on." Dejected, Zorp left the McDonald's drive-through. He noticed a giant building across the street with the name Walmart plastered on the side. Figuring it was as good a place as any to find spaceship parts and maybe some decent snacks, Zorp piloted his battered spacecraft towards the giant store. Section 6. Human shopping is hard. Stepping inside a Walmart for the first time was an overwhelming experience for Zorp. Bright fluorescent lights, endless aisles of strange products, and the constant chatter of human shoppers created a symphony of sensory overload. He felt a headache coming on, and it wasn't just from the lingering effects of the marijuana smoke. He wandered aimlessly through the aisles, his three eyes darting back and forth. He stopped to examine a display of toilet brushes, mistaking them for some kind of alien backscratcher. These look interesting, he muttered to himself. A nearby shopper gave him a wide berth. Zorp eventually found his way to the automotive section, hoping to scavenge some spare parts for his ship. He was immediately overwhelmed by the sheer variety of tools, fluids, and other automotive paraphernalia. How am I supposed to choose? He wondered aloud, scratching his head in frustration. It's all so complicated. Section 7, Fixing the Spaceship, sort of. After spending what felt like an eternity in Walmart, Zorp finally emerged, pushing a shopping cart overflowing with random items. He had duct tape, WD-40, a set of jumper cables, a pink fuzzy dice, and a gallon of pickle juice. He wasn't entirely sure how these items would help him fix his spaceship, but hey, it was worth a shot, right? Back at the crash site, he got to work. He used the duct tape to patch up a hole in the hull. He sprayed WD-40 on anything that looked like it might be squeaking. He even tried to use the jumper cables to jumpstart his spaceship's engine, somehow believing it would work, the same way it did on those human contraptions called cars. Unsurprisingly, his attempts at spaceship repair were less than successful. The engine still sputtered, the hull still creaked, and the pink fuzzy dice just looked out of place. But hey, at least he tried, right? Besides, he was starting to feel the munchies again, and that gallon of pickle juice wasn't going to drink itself. Section 8. Green goodies to go. As he was packing up his makeshift toolkit, Zorp noticed a few surviving marijuana plants that hadn't been consumed by the fire. He thought, these earth plants are quite interesting. Maybe I should take some back to Zargon with me. I'm sure they'd be a big hit. He carefully collected a few of the plants, handling them with the reverence of a museum curator preserving a priceless artifact. He wrapped them gently in a spare space blanket, making sure they wouldn't get crushed during his interstellar journey. Zorp climbed back into his battered spaceship, his pockets stuffed with space snacks and other assorted Walmart finds. He glanced back at the field one last time, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. "Thanks for the hospitality, Earth," he whispered, "and sorry about the whole crashing my spaceship in your marijuana field thing. I promise to write." Section 9. See you later, Earth. With a deafening roar and a plume of multicolored smoke, Zorp's spaceship sputtered back to life. He punched in the coordinates for Zargon, hoping he wouldn't accidentally end up crashing into another planet's illicit crop production. As Earth shrunk behind him in the spaceship's rearview mirror, Zorp couldn't help but feel a pang of nostalgia for the strange, wonderful planet he'd briefly visited. Sure, he hadn't achieved his mission of galactic domination, but he had experienced the unique joy of getting high off his butt on Earth marijuana, and that was a story he would be telling for light years to come. "Next stop, Zargon!" Zorp cheered, pulling out his bag of Earth snacks. He had a feeling he was going to need them. After all, interdimensional travel was hungry work, and he still had to figure out how to explain his little adventure and the interesting souvenirs he brought back with him.